Welcome to another Rubbish FPL Player channel video. This video I'm going to talk briefly about how my game week 32 went, go through that really quickly, and then on to game week 33, which is the big double game week. Lots of people playing chips with Freehit or bench boost, are the most ones. A few people playing wildcards and triple captains. But yeah, I'll talk about that in a bit. But quickly, game week 32, I got 56 points, average was 46 points. So it was 100k green arrow, which is, well, alright, I guess. 3.1 million rank, so still not getting into the top 3 million at the end of the game week. I thought it was going to be a good one. I was hoping just for one game week where just everything worked out. I got Bowen in for Ekatike. Bowen, first game of the game week, and I got 14 points, which was fantastic. But after that, there wasn't too much. Virgil van Dijk got 9 points, so that's pretty good. Rogers actually got another assist, so that's 2 assists in 2 game weeks now. And I think this evening in Europe, I think he got a goal as well. So he's finding some form. I captained Bruno, so that was 8 points in total. That wasn't great. And United were rubbish. And in that game, Bruno wasn't particularly good. Towards the end, it looked like he was knackered. But yeah, so that wasn't good. I said, United were awful in the first half in particular. Second half were better, but it wasn't much different. It wasn't hard to be better than that first half. So yeah, and on the bench, I had Rouse on the bench. He got 11 points, so that wasn't good to have that on the bench. And Krupi Jr. got 6 points. So there we go. I'll take the green arrow, I guess, any green arrow, but hopefully it's a really big green arrow for in game week 33 with a bench boost. Sorry, not the bench boost. I'm going to be playing the free hit, but the double game week. So lots of players playing twice. So my team at the moment on Thursday evening, as I record this is my team. It's so 85-90% there. It's very template at the moment. All the players, pretty much. If you're looking at all the sort of free hit teams for online and the YouTubers and all that sort of stuff, a lot of people have the players I've got. So I think, I think looking at the team, the only one, obviously I've still got Bruno at the moment who plays just the once, and it's against Chelsea, and who knows what United team will turn up. That's probably going to get rid of Bruno for someone else who plays twice in the game week. The latest I'm thinking is maybe Alex Scott. The rest, I'm pretty happy about. There's obviously there's lots of talk about O'Reilly, whether he's fit, whether he's not fit, whether he's injured. Who knows? No one knows 100%. Only he knows and Pep knows probably. So there's been, as you get with FPL nowadays, everyone's looking at sort of training ground photos and all that sort of stuff, and checking his social media and things. So there was some training photos where it looked like O'Reilly was sort of in the background. It wasn't in focus, so it looked like him, but it was some training outside. But it looked like they were just stretchers basically. So he's not seen him sort of like on the pitch, kicking a ball, running, etc. The injury he went off early in the last game was apparently a hamstring injury. So obviously hamstring injury there's various degrees of seriousness of the injury. So if there's any, obviously he's a very important player. Every point, City probably need to win every game for the rest of the season. Well, if they win every game to the end of the season, they've won the league. So whether he'll play. I think I reckon he will play in the Arsenal game, big important game. And then it maybe in the Burnley game, Pep might think he's not needed, but Pep clearly, obviously, rates him a lot, plays him all the time. He's obviously he's a very good player. Yeah, so it all depends where you want to go. Whether you go, keep O'Reilly, hope he plays, hope he does well, and you would think City will get a clean sheet against Burnley. There'll be odds on for that. Arsenal aren't scoring tons of goals at the moment. If it's not a set piece, they don't really score. So yeah, if O'Reilly, if Pep says in the press conference, if O'Reilly's not available, whether we'll get that from Pep, but we'll say you could go for something like Gay or Nunez, get another defender in, or Donnarumma maybe, or do you go all attacking, which at the moment is what I'm leaning towards with Turkey in, and obviously Haaland and Semenyo. So we'll see. I'm gonna obviously see the press conferences, see what Pep says, and get more information on that, and we'll see what happens. Looking at I think at my rank, I'm gonna have to. I'd like to go for, although if I had the team and it's like a template Freehit team, a lot of the players, the majority of players playing the team, certainly near my rank, won't have them. So they could be sort of quite differential anyway, relatively speaking. Even O'Reilly, who is popular generally, especially in the FPL community, he's 13% owned, so not like 40-50% sort of like ownership. Turkey is 9%, so relatively low ownership. So even though a lot of the FPL community sort of may have those players in, the general, everyone playing, the 12-13 million people playing FPL won't have him. So that'll help if they get a good score, or be some good green arrows, which I really need. Obviously, I'm not gonna not gonna win FPL now, or even get, I think top million is a push, but I just want to get as high as possible. If I can beat my worst ever ranking, which is about 1.4, 1.5 million, something like that, I'll take that. It's a stretch at the moment. I've got to gain like 70, 80 points, so it's not likely, but if I have a big double game week, you never know. As for the captain, I think the most popular one is going to be Haaland, because Haaland in a double game week, but it's not as if he's been in fantastic form. Bit similar to last season, where he got most of his goals right early on and then sort of petered out. I think he's scored 3 goals in the last 13 Premier League games, so not the best. There is a world, then if you're brave enough, you don't have Haaland in your team, but with his high ownership, and the potential, even against Arsenal, that could be a tight game. He might not do anything, but against Burnley, there is a chance he could go crazy and get a hat trick, get even more than that. So, and if you don't have him, whether you're captain or not, if you don't have him, then you're losing. You red arrow automatically. The other options, I think for me, I might, almost got nothing to lose. I may captain Turkey. I'm not expecting him to play 180 minutes, 290 minutes. He rarely does, actually. I think in the last few games, I think one game he didn't. Let's see. The last few games, he's played 75 minutes, 30 minutes, 81 minutes, 87 minutes. So obviously the half an hour against West Ham, that would be good if he did that again. But if he played 75, 80 sort of minutes in each of the games, I'd take that. So we'll see. I think if I'm going to captain anyone, it'll be from the City. And it will be from a double game week player. And I don't trust Chelsea and Palmer. If I get Alex Scott in, I can't see me captaining him or a Bournemouth player or any Brighton players. Certainly, I can't see me captaining a Burnley player for sure, or a Leeds player. Yeah, so it's probably going to be a City player, and since I'm likely to have Haaland, Semenyo, Cherki, like I said, I may captain Cherki. If Pep says O'Reilly 100% fit and all that, I may get a bit scared and just get him in, and he may be a captain contender. So yeah, it's either Haaland is like just to say standard boring option. Cherki, if O'Reilly is a bit of a doubt and I want to just go a bit attacking, but if I end up getting O'Reilly in, then he could be captain. So we'll see. Looking at the rest of the team and the Freehit team and what they do. Yeah, I've got Cucurella in. Like I just said, I don't really trust Chelsea. And the fixtures, they're not doing too well at the moment. That game against United, who knows what's going to happen, because United in that Leeds game were really bad, as I said. This is, let's see what happens at the end to the last few games in the season for United and Carrick, and obviously if he wants the job, he's going to get the team playing better than he did against Leeds. But I've got Cucurella in at the moment, although he is on the bench. City's, I think he's got 3 shots in the last 2 games I read, so that's not tons, but it's something. Apparently since the Rosner's appointment, he's joint 6th amongst defenders per minute per chance created, 54. So that's something. If I have him in, like I said, I probably won't start him, but I've got Palmer in. I was just saying about United being rubbish and all that. As well as, just the general performance. I think United is going to be without Maguire again. And I'm not sure about Mainu, whether I'm not sure the news on that. So could be 100% we're out without Maguire because he's got that additional game suspension. I won't rant about that. And then maybe without Mainu. Yeah, hopefully we've got some. Yes, in defence it could be interesting because obviously Martinez got the red card. I'm not going to mention that anymore. So won't have Maguire, won't have Martinez as available. Delay is still injured, and who knows where he is. So who will play? I'm guessing it'll be Yoro and Heaven. He may try something. May try something different, and maybe Luke Shaw plays in as one of the centre backs, and then I don't know who's available. With sort of a unfortunate time we're getting all these some key injuries, but yeah, I don't think it's too bad a fixture for Chelsea, even though they're not good, but United aren't good and key players out. But yeah, I think that's my only thoughts about the team so far. Just going back actually, I just these stats I found. Looking at from Rob TFPL, this is just having a look at the teams which the highest the projected goals and the clean sheet, 1+ clean sheets, and City are top of both of those for goals and clean sheets. Surprisingly, actually, Leeds is second in to get at least 1 clean sheet. They're playing Wolves in one of the games, so that obviously that's going to help them. Yeah, but something interesting. The Aston Villa and Forest are above Chelsea and Bournemouth to get at least 1 clean sheet, and they're just playing the once in the game week. So they're saying something about the Chelsea and defence and Bournemouth defence, which at the moment I've actually got 2 Bournemouth defenders, which is a bit of a worry. But hopefully, they'll get at least 1 clean sheet, and obviously they're good players at getting DEFCON. So, if you get DEFCON and both of them get DEFCON in both games, then that's 8 points. So, I'll take that. Looking at the projected goals and anything interesting there, as I said, City at top as expected. And then Chelsea actually, although they're not projected to do too well clean sheet wise, they're second in the goals. So that's what there is a chance. Looking at my team for 33, I've only got that I'm playing is Palmer. As I said, Cucurella on the bench, so I may get another Chelsea attacker, and the obvious one would be Pedro. I know another one popular is Enzo, and if he's back, actually talking about Enzo, if he's back and plays in his usual position, that on paper actually isn't that great for Palmer, because he could be pushed away from, it won't be central, which is his preferred position, and when he's generally better and more likely to get the FPL points. So mostly it. But anyway, there's plenty to think about with like the whole of Friday to have a think about that and make my decisions, all the press conferences. So yeah, there we go. But anyway, hopefully get green arrow. Good luck with your team. Hopefully you get green arrows as well. And if you could like, comment, subscribe to this video, it'd be great. Thank you. Bye.